everyone, Saida here. So today's video is going to be about crystals, and if you know me, you know I love crystals. I've been a fan of crystals for years now, and I have a pretty good collection of crystals. Not a lot of big pieces, a lot of tumbled pieces and crystal points and clusters. But I've accumulated a lot over the years, and I've learned a lot over the years. So today I want to talk to you about crystals and ways of tuning into crystals, along with some other tips and recommendations I have for working with crystals. This is especially beneficial for people that are just starting on their crystal journey or want to find a way to take things to the next level with their connection with crystals. Okay? So let's start with the hypothetical scenario, which a lot of you have probably gone through already if you're a crystal lover. So you go into a crystal store with the intention of getting the perfect crystal for you. You want to get either the most powerful crystal or the one that's going to help you the most. Okay, so one thing I want to say about that, first of all, is that you don't want to be too attached to that outcome. Okay, so when you go into a crystal shop, you want to be open and you want to be receptive to whatever it is that you may need, whether it seems like it's going to be the best crystal for you or not. I noticed that a lot of people tend to read a lot about crystals and their properties before they go into a crystal shop, or even after, even if they don't buy anything. I work at a crystal shop, so I notice a lot of people do a lot of reading beforehand, and sometimes that keeps people stuck in like a box. So they want to make sure, like, they look up the crystal or certain properties that are associated with certain crystals, and then they go into the crystal shop with the intention of getting that crystal for that situation, whatever situation they want help with. And I would recommend being very open with that. So go into a crystal shop with an open mind. Okay, so you go into a crystal shop, okay? And for people that I interact with on a regular basis at my job, at the crystal shop, is when they come to me and ask for the perfect crystal for them or what's going to help them the most, I let them know that it's important to be open and just kind of skim the area. Look around a little bit. Look around and see what stands out to you first, okay? What catches your eye like almost immediately. Because the thing to remember about crystals is that they have energy, they are energy, and they have consciousness, okay? So they're going to interact with each individual person in an individual and unique way, okay? So this is why I recommend not reading too much, because, I mean, it's good, it gives you a foundation, but see it as only a small percentage of what the crystal can do for you. What you read in a book is just the basics, but what a crystal can do for each individual person could be even more than what you can read about in a book. Okay, so heading back to the scenario. So letting the customer know that you look around, you see what crystal stands out to you the most. Okay, so let's say you do that. You look around the crystal shop and you find something that speaks to you. Like, it looks beautiful and it really radiates. So you pick it up, so then what do you do after that? Here's the next thing I want to recommend to you, okay? Or something that I want to let you know about crystals is crystals tend to work in such a way that they're individual, but because they're at a high vibration, they tend to work in harmony with spirit. So going into a crystal shop with an open mind is very good because it helps you to be in the flow of that energy. So if you're too stifled, it may actually restrict your ability to pick up on the energies of the crystals. So another reason why I recommend you going into it open-ended. So when you pick up the crystal, okay, the first thing that you want to do is observe how the crystal feels in a physical way, okay? Observe how the crystal feels in terms of its texture, in terms of its temperature. Does it feel cold to the touch? Does it feel warm? Does it feel smooth? Does it feel kind of jagged? Is it sharp on some of the edges? You want to get attuned to how the crystal feels physically, because before you start to enter the realm of your psychic senses and your ability to sense energy, you want to get in touch with your physical senses. The thing is that they work together. They're not separate. So if you get in touch with your body and what feels right to your body, then your psychic senses are going to be a lot more open and a lot more attuned because of that, okay? And crystals, as a community, are really good at helping us to get in tune with the energies of things and just energy overall. They help us to get familiar with what energy feels like depending on where it's coming from. So they're great teachers in that way, besides their healing properties. Okay, so now that you've gotten a sense of what the crystal feels like, now what you want to do is allow yourself to drift off a little bit. And when I say this, this is the equivalent of going into a slight trance. So you want to allow yourself to daydream. Think of it as like daydreaming. Allow yourself to daydream, almost like where you're not thinking about anything. When you enter into a daydream state, and I'm going to post a video on this later on, but when you enter into a daydream-like state, it's very similar to being in a trance. And when you're in a trance, it really helps you to connect to the energy of the spirit realm, okay? Because you're not focused upon logic, you're not focused upon analytical thinking, you're just allowing yourself to open yourself up to the energy of whatever it is within you and what's around you. So if you allow those logical walls to drop and you enter into a trance, you're much more receptive to the energy of the crystal. So this is where now you want to start observing, go into your trance, and then come back and see, like, how do you feel, or how did you feel in that trance state? Did you feel relaxed? Did you feel like your energy was heightened? Did you feel, let's say, emotional? Did you feel angry or anxious? You want to make note of all these things because this is how the crystal is affecting you. Now, if you get like a negative feeling, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because crystals have a high vibration, they tend to amplify whatever it is that you're feeling in an attempt to clear out that energy. So when you enter into the energy of a crystal, it's going to align you to its energy. So it's going to clear out and make you aware of anything that's not serving you, okay? Especially clear quartz, okay? Okay, so from there you can determine, is this the crystal that you want to buy? Now, here's something that you need to remember. Sometimes when you buy a crystal and you take it home, you may notice that the energy is not as amplified as it was when you were in the store. One of the reasons for that is, one, it's away from maybe the other crystals that it was around, so it's not as amplified because it's not in a crystal environment anymore. But also, I noticed that sometimes crystals try to get you to buy them when you're in the store so you can at least get them, okay? So this takes me to the next tip, which is be very patient with the process of working with your crystals. All because you get a crystal at that time doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to give you the epitome of healing at that point. You may need to take some time to adjust to the crystal's energy. You may also need to take some time to have regular life experience before the crystal can do its healing on you. Like, for instance, I bought this crystal. Just to show you guys, this is a quartz, but it's a Starberry quartz. So the etchings are supposed to be connected to different star systems, so it gives you the wisdom of that star system. When I first bought this crystal, I loved it. I loved the way it looked, but I didn't feel a damn thing. Okay, I didn't feel anything. But after maybe about 2 years, that's when I started to meditate with the crystal, that's when I started to feel stuff. So that's what you need to keep in mind, that you need to be patient with that process. And the next tip that I want to give to you, oh man, I forgot, what was it? The last thing I want to recommend to you is meditate, okay? So you want to sit in meditation. Reason for that is meditation helps you to get in tune with your senses. It helps you to get in tune with your body. It helps you to open up psychically. So that way you build what I call crystal sensitivity. So you become more sensitive to energy, and because of that, you become more sensitive to the crystal's energy, okay? So these are some tips that I want you to keep in mind when working with crystals. So don't be disheartened by not feeling energies right away. It takes time, especially if you're just starting, okay? Don't be disheartened if you want to get a crystal just because it looks beautiful. Do that. That's the way it's reaching out to you. Get the crystal. You know, be very open and playful with this process, okay? So, yeah, my phone just did something weird. So I hope that was helpful to you, and let me know your experiences with crystals and if this video has helped you any. So I send you all my love, and I'll see you around next time. Take care. Bye-bye.